Loading. And we are live. Hello and happy Tuesday to everybody. I'm here with Vic Barreto, the CEO and founder of the Boardroom UAE. Really exciting to have you here. Hey, Vic.
Thank
How's
you
it
so much,
going?
Rachel. It's very nice to be here. Great, thank you.
Yeah, so nice to see you. So nice to see you.
Yeah.
So here we are with the smart impression. With the live link, which is basically live on LinkedIn. We do it every Tuesday for about 15 minutes, where we bring in professionals to bring their expertise to the forefront of LinkedIn, and people could really walk away with some valuable tips of how to implement things into their life immediately. So this LinkedIn Live is all about talking to sales professionals and business owners and entrepreneurs in the region, I would say globally, because we don't differentiate where you are. Business as usual kind of goes the same no matter where you are in the world. But we're talking to you live today from the UAE in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So let me introduce Vic for a second. Vic, tell me more about the Boardroom UAE. This is very special, and we started collaborating with the concept of really providing added value to business owners that are looking to really leverage peer advisory in their life. So where did you come up with this idea?
So thank you, Rachel. Yes, it came up in South Africa. We started the boardroom in South Africa many, many years back. Um, I and my mentor had a lot of different people, entrepreneurs, coming to us for help all the time on how to build their businesses. So we what we did is we brought them in, and we taught them in the morning, and in the afternoons we actually broke them up into groups. And what we found was, in the groups of 10 to 12 business owners, we managed to help them overcome lots of different challenges. And we realized that for most business owners, they are solopreneurs, right? They don't have much wise counsel. They don't have much people helping them overcome their challenges. And by coming together around a table with like-minded other business people, we could actually help each other solve each other's problems. And that's where the magic really happened. And when you go through problem discovery processes of how do I overcome, for example, like recruiting the top talent and keeping top and attracting and retaining talent, it's amazing what you can see and what you can learn from other CEOs and help you in your business and your cause. So the main thing is about wise counsel and accountability, holding yourself to account to that board, and then also basically getting the right wise counsel to grow your business.
Well, I love that you mentioned it, because I think, anyone that's listening here, and I encourage everyone to jump in and ask questions while Vic is here. A lot of knowledge here brought to the region and to this LinkedIn Live. So I can't thank you enough for being here. But why do people join a peer advisory? Because if they work in a company, or if they have people around them, what would drive them to actually join a peer advisory like the Boardroom?
Well, I think it's lonely. If you take the average entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur for 30 odd years, and one thing you do know as an entrepreneur is that it's very lonely, and you spend most of the time second guessing yourself on what is the right thing to do for my business at that stage of the growth, and you don't have that consistent how can I say, input and wise counsel into your business. Now, the nice thing about it is you start having 12 board members around you that become your board members over years to come, and they get to really know you and your business really well. And so as the months go by, they get to know you so well that they can really give you such tailored advice that can actually increase the growth pace of your business exponentially.
I love that. So basically, we're talking about anybody who's out there who feels a little bit alone. You're in a decision-making process and a career space and stage in your life. And, it's sometimes you lack, who are you going to ask for the right direction? And so I want to bring in some of these components of what are some of the biggest challenges that you're finding on these peer advisory, in the boardroom. What are people talking about? What kind of things are they addressing?
I think it was some of the biggest challenges is leadership styles and how do they lead businesses and how do they lead teams to be able to grow and scale. Because to be able to grow a business and scale a business, you need to understand all the different aspects of how to scale a business sustainably, and a lot of that is around leadership and leadership styles. So we help people overcome those challenges of understanding what type of leadership styles they need to adapt to be able to grow their businesses. Furthermore, we have a lot of issues around rev ops, more particularly in terms of how do I get revenue operations right to be able to make sure I can get predictable sales in the future. So we speak about things like that. We speak about organizational design, because as you go through your different stages of growth in your business, the organizational design has to change in order for you to be able to scale. So we speak about a lot of those different types of issues, but most of it's driven by the member, Rachel. What we ask is the member to come to us and tell us what problems are they facing in their businesses. We do a problem discovery process, and we make sure that we help them overcome their challenges.
Okay. Well, it sounds like there's, the people that you bring onto these board. I want to talk to the listeners a little bit more about that, because I think that's super key. It's not that every single person is invited to this board, but you are curating the board specifically, right?
100%. So we obviously look at which stage of growth you are in your business cycle. Are you a small business? Have you gained traction in the marketplace yet? Have you gone through breakthrough? Or are you in the growth phase of your business? You've got to market traction, and you're now starting to build a business. So, because in the earlier stages of your business, you're really in product market fit stage, right? So we try and group businesses that are in product market fit and trying to get traction in the market into a specific board. And we make sure that obviously there are no competing businesses on their board and no supplier relationships. And we group them by their growth stages of their business, so we can make sure that we can help people in a similar stage of growth of their business, because they'll face the same type of challenges.
Absolutely incredible, because I think, there's no other competitor that I can even think of that has come into this space and offered this solution. You get, incubators that have different parts of people with different KPIs trying to help with either investments and funding, but it's not so much across the board. So any and every problem you could possibly have to address in your business, there's someone to turn to, and it's not one person. You have quite a lot of people to ask for their expertise and feedback, right?
100%. And Rachel, one of the big things that I find with people that don't actually get themselves the right support system around them is they're so busy in the detail of their business that they never get to work on their business. They're always in their business. And a lot of times, a lot of things come at them and they don't know how to deal with it because they've never really they don't work on their business. And I always liken it to be in a forest, and you need to chop down a tree, but you've got a blunt saw and you've got a saw sharpener, but you don't use the sharpener, and you try and saw down the tree with this blunt saw, and you get really tired and you get to burnout. And if you think about it, 87% of all startups fail in the first 3 years. And of the remaining 13%, only 2% of them make it past 5 years, because they don't get the right support system to help them overcome those challenges so they can actually thrive and grow a sustainable business.
Wow, those numbers are, absolutely a little disheartening. You can imagine, I think, there's a prevalent amount of people that want to be their own entrepreneur and start a business. And we are humans that create all day. So it's very easy to come up with a concept. Now, the true entrepreneur is the one that takes it through the journey to get it revenue generating, right? So I want to talk about, I do believe when it comes to human connections and really building relationships to drive business sales, there is nothing better than a peer advisory kind of collaboration. So one of the keys that I personally believe is great is just the diversified perspectives and expertise, that comes to the board. 120%. So, what kind of experts are you bringing onto these boards?
So, I mean, the CEOs themselves are normally of a variety of expertise level, but the most important thing is the chair that chairs the board. We make sure that the chair that chairs the board has experience of building a business from the ground up right through to breakthrough and sustainably scaling a business. They must have to have the real in-depth experience for more than 10 years plus of doing that. So the job of the chairperson is to be able to facilitate the process, to be able to help everybody go through those different growth stages. So that's the important part. The other part, Rachel, is what we normally find is if we do a problem discovery process in the board session and we find a common problem that we can't solve, we go and find the best people in the industry to come and tailor make the outcome of that problem discovery process and come in and help them solve the problem. And we bring them into the boardroom session. It could be on a variety of different topics.
Okay. And I want to highlight you have a variety of different industries, right? There's not one industry that is allowed versus another. You're really agnostic, right? When it comes to
120%.
just business in general, right?
If you think about it, Rachel, there's two things. Most entrepreneurs focus on product market fit. Okay. So that's building a product. But very few of them are business people that know how to build a business. Because once you've got that traction in the marketplace, you now need to take that value proposition and put it into a business model that can help you grow and scale a business so you can take that product to many people. And that's where most entrepreneurs come unstuck, is they don't know how to build a business. So that's why it's agnostic, because we're going to teach you how to build a business, and the process and all the challenges they're facing is not normally around their product. It's normally around how to grow a business, and that's agnostic.
Yeah. And I love that, you're not seeing that out there in the market. You're not seeing it. You see plenty of advertising and start a business, get a business license, open up an office, but like, what about functioning like a business, And I always say, like, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And I can't stress enough that I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible, because you then have a personal connection that it's a regular connection over and over through time, where they really get to know each other, understand each other, and nurture the businesses of each other while nurturing the relationship of just humans in general, right?
100%. Yeah. Look, I mean, the most important thing is all us business leaders are all human, and we all have fears, and we all have sleepless nights, and we all go through all the what ifs in our minds. What if this happens? What if that happens? But if you can have a group of people that can help you answer those what ifs, first of all, just from a mental health perspective, it's so much, the advantage is so great to be able to have those people around. I'd just like to mention one thing, Rachel. Around the world, especially in the US and the UK, where peer advisory boards are big, the average member stays for over 8 years. Okay. And the normal churn factor of a peer advisory group in the US is normally around about 7%. But during COVID, almost less than 1% resigned from their peer advisory boards, even if they couldn't afford it, because that's what helped them get through the COVID pandemic. It was that camaraderie, was that wise counsel, them forging through those issues together, that made a lot of those businesses survive.
Wow. So I think we need each other. And if it's not prevalent in your business model, it's prevalent with the statistics you're sharing, because obviously, the proof is in the pudding. I do want to highlight, I think one of the, another point that's really important in this is that guidance and mentorship, because that's what helped those businesses accelerate, right?
So the average member gets about an hour to 2 hours a month with their chair, to be able to go through their growth plans and framework and whatever else, and they can ask all the one-on-one questions, and they can get a lot of input. For example, yesterday I was sitting with one of my members, and she's busy planning her growth cycle, and we spent an hour together, and she texted me afterwards and said, "Wow, that was life-changing. That was really amazing. I saw my business from a totally different perspective." And she's she's really looked at her business differently. Instead of being in her business, she's managing to be able to find all the weaknesses and put in different strategies to grow.
Incredible. Well, maybe you can go in a little bit further than that, because I love to share stories. I think storytelling is really great for anyone to really resonate, and really sit there who's listening and say, hey, that sounds like me. This is I'm in this headspace of like confusion. I don't know. Do I go to a business advisor? There's plenty of them out there. Do I go, where do I go seek help? And like, what is that help going to give me? So can you kind of walk us through kind of example of someone who's leveraged the boardroom kind of philosophy, and then in terms of knowledge enablement and time savings and a couple expanding opportunities that it's been able to bring to their life and their business? Do you have one that you could reference?
Yes, I mean, there's a number of them. For example, I'll just give you an example. There was a gentleman in South Africa. His name was Rowan, and he came to me and said to me, "Vic, I don't own a business, but I work in a business, and I'd like to be able to grow as a leader in the business. So I said to him, so Rowan, what do you do? So he says, well, I'm a sales consultant for Sony South Africa. So I said, oh, that's interesting. So he said to me, but how do I go and grow and take my career to another level? So I said, well, what do you know about your CEO? He says, well, he's a Japanese gentleman. He's a short little Japanese gentleman. So I said to him, well, go and find out what time he arrives at the office. So he went and he found out what time this gentleman arrived at the office. He said the guy arrives every morning at 6 a.m. So I said, well, next week, Monday, make sure you're there at 6 a.m. But make sure you don't startle him because he obviously doesn't know you. He says, yeah, like, fine. I said, when you sit down with him, ask him what is his vision for Sony South Africa and how can you help him make that vision become a reality? I said, that's the only question you need to ask him. So he went in there, he asked the guy, can I have 10 minutes of your time? And then he asked him the question. The conversation didn't go for 10 minutes. It went for 4 hours. Okay. He eventually took Rowan and put him on a management fast track course. Okay. Rowan attended, obviously, the boardroom, learned a lot about how to build a business through the boardroom, through listening to other business owners' challenges. And eventually, within 18 months, Rowan was the sales director for Sony South Africa. Okay.
Wow.
His career took off. Until today, Rowan will tell you that most of his insights that he got on how to build a business and how to build a sales team within Sony South Africa came from the boardroom.
Wow. Okay. That's a good testimony right there. I like that one, but I love that it's not just a business owner. It could be someone, a business leader. It could be someone internally inside an organization. It could be anyone looking to advance their life, their career, and the business advantages, or at least advance the business that they're part of to take to another level. So I love that how diversified it is with the stories that you're able to connect to and really add value to. You can't believe it, Vic. This time goes quick. We're already a couple minutes over. That 15 minutes is quick. I do hope that our listeners today found lots of value. I love, love, love the concept. And just to repeat a couple of great value propositions of why peer advisory will help you with your human connections and advance your career based on perspectives and different perspectives and expertise based on initiating and nurturing relationships, and also about guidance and mentorship, stuff that you couldn't get. And it's very affordable, and so affordable that Vic has extended a special offer for all the listeners today. I'll be sharing the link so you can lock in and check it out. It's only 20 minutes of your time to find out what exactly this and where this opportunity and this business could really help and add value to your life. So I do hope you enjoyed today's session. Thanks again for your time, Vic. It's been great to have you here. I hope you have a great day.
Have a great day.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.